Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. Well, you know what? We're going to change it up today. It's almost the holidays. It's time for gathering.
It's flashbacks.
Yeah.
Sheriff, why don't you open the show up for us?
Hey, top of the morning to you. It's 5 minutes after 9 minutes till 5. Here we are at WIBC. Hey, we're having a great time here this morning. This is the Indiana State Police Roadshow with retired Indiana State Police District 52 PIO Rich Myers. By my side right here is retired Captain of the Public Information Section, Dave Burston. Glad to have you here today, Dave. And running the show is not retired.
Not yet.
and also not retired, running the camera off camera, Tom Trial.
Yeah, Tom's
and
here.
Also
waiting.
not retired, doing what I used to do, standing off camera, Captain Ron Galvez.
We're all here. But, this was a cool thing. We see each other and talk to each other and thought, hey, let's all get together.
Absolutely.
Two former hosts of the Indiana State Police Roadshow.
I was thinking on the way up here, who was the host before you, Dave?
That would have been John Mole.
Okay.
And John Mole, that goes back to when it was on tape, reel-to-reel tape.
Yeah, wow.
And
obviously
also
not done here at WIBC
not
Studios.
done here. It was done at the studios on the third floor at State Police. There was a studio back there. And John Mole and John Wheeler, they started it. And I think Tom Trial knows a lot more history on it beyond that. I think he went through and found a bunch of those tapes. I don't know if any of those got converted or not.
I did see some of those tapes.
Yeah, we do have those on a drive on our computer that we have access to.
So they had guests come in also.
They would have music. They actually did. They did a genre of country music.
No kidding.
And I can't remember. There was another one that was done. I can't remember what it was though. But they did easy listening music, and then John Mole would come in and would talk and sometimes have a guest, and then you'd listen to a song, and then it would repeat and do it again.
Maybe we need to bring music back.
Well, so today, in remembrance of that, Dave will be singing a cappella.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
Yeah, it'd be
I'm going to do my rendition of Delta Dawn.
He's got a karaoke machine with him, so he's going to start out here in a little bit.
So, Rich, what have you been up to? Sheriff just got reelected for another term?
Just reelected here in November, thanks to the voters of Morgan County, and God bless for putting me back in for another 4 years. I'm very appreciative, very humble, and it's people say, did it fly by? Yes and no. I think it did in a way, but this 4 years have been very uneasy, with the COVID. So we dealt with that. We all dealt with that in our business and what we do and serving the public, and plus the jail side of it, trying to keep it out of there and keep the guests there healthy as well as we could, and then the unrest that we went through with the political side of it and the protests and all that coming through our areas and stuff. So it's been a fast 4 years, but I'm glad it's done 4 years.
Yeah. So for those of you fairly new to the show that don't recognize Dave or Rich, about 4 years ago you left ISP and you ran for sheriff in Morgan County, successfully elected, and prior to that you were the PIO here.
I was the PIO in District 52. Started out at Putnamville.
Yeah.
And started out Putnamville.
Well, even before that, you started out climbing radio towers and changing antennas. Am I right?
Yeah. Back
when
I
forgot about that. Yeah.
Wanted to get my foot in the door, and so I thought, well, I'll become a civilian employee of the state police. And they said, well, we got this position open where we actually, the state police worked on the, I think we had around
18 radio towers back then.
Yeah, around the state of Indiana, we would actually climb the towers, put on new microwave dishes, antennas, change the bulbs. And so
could you do that today?
Oh, no.
Thank you. I didn't have the dump button ready right here, but
no, sirree. So as a matter of fact, a little side story of that. So I went on to become on the bomb squad with the state police when I did that, and we had a call over to Rose Hallman, and they had a water tower over there, and the gentleman actually they used the tower to what's the word I'm looking for, to
climb.
Well, no, that when they're looking to make sure their instruments are all calibrated.
Okay.
Calibrate's the word I'm looking for. They calibrate the height. They know what it is. So the instruments that they use in doing their stuff over there, and so one day they look up at it and they're looking through their instrument and they go, there's a box up there that says explosives on top of the water tower. So they said, that's not right. So they called us in, and we went over and looked at it and said, yeah, you're right. It does.
Was there a coyote and a roadrunner going around too?
This story kind of does that. Yeah, it leads up to that, very much so. But so we get there, and yeah, that's a explosive box up there. It says explosives on it. So one of the team members knew that I'd climbed towers. Said, "You going to climb that?" I said, "Heavens no! That's why we have helicopters now." So we did. We got a helicopter over there, flew over, and so some of those crazy college kids had actually went out and bought commercial explosives. It was just mortar rounds, but they'd climb the tower, put it up on top, and rigged a fusing system down to the bottom with a switch and everything.
So it was almost legit then.
It was legit.
Yeah.
It would have worked had the fusing system had come loose from the fusing system.
They just didn't know how to do it.
Get it quite right. Yeah, so it didn't go. So when they flipped the switch down there that they had batteries and everything hooked up. It didn't go off, so it just sit up there inert.
So nobody knew how long it had been up there. Of course, never found out who did it.
I found out who did it. Never know when it was done. It was around Halloween. This time was around Halloween, so it was kind of. They think it was a Halloween prank, but they said, "Are you going to go up and get it?" I said, "No. Next time your tower guy is going to paint it or whatever, bring it down." So next couple of days they called us and said we went up and got it, and it was just like you buy at a commercial stand. The mortars just go off.
Yeah.
Wow. But it was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Now, you know what we've just accomplished now? We've just planted the seed in some young person's mind.
Oh, like they haven't thought about it before. Yeah.
Well, they hadn't thought about that before.
Maybe they took the ladder up higher or something, so they can get up there now and do that. But yeah. So another side note to that story. So Eric Strevel, you all know Eric Strevel flies helicopters for us. So Eric's a great pilot. Fly with him anywhere. But we're going up in a helicopter. Me and Gary Warfield, who's on the bomb squad with me at that time, we had an intern with us. To kind of go and see what we're doing. So Strevel's flying around. He goes, "You want to get closer?" I've got headphones. I said, "Yeah, give me as close as you can so I can look at it." So he's getting this, and he goes, "You want to hover here?" And I said, "Yeah, hover." So he's hovering there, and all of a sudden this alarm goes, doot, doot, doot. I said, "Eric, what is that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's the stall alarm." I said, "Make it stop, okay, Eric? Make that stop, whatever you do." Eric's, that was a fun time.
Well, Captain, you've been retired for a few years now, but still working. So let's catch folks up on what's going on in your life.
Well, I retired from the state police in June of 2019 and came on board with the Indiana Department of Correction because, as we all know from other shows you've done, they have lots of openings.
And he was only this far from being there in the first place.
It kind of came full circle.
Yeah, exactly,
always just trying to stay on the right side of the bars, trying to stay on the side that you could walk away from.
Yeah.
And I work in their community engagement. And what a lot of people don't know is there are well over 1,000 people that volunteer to come in to the correctional facilities around the state and work with people that are presently incarcerated. Anything from, a lot of them are faith-based. Many others are skills, like helping people finish their education, teaching them anger management, just having somebody to talk to, counseling. And God bless them that people have that calling to come in and, out of the graciousness of their heart, volunteer to do that.
Wow,
we have that in our jails. Cool. It's amazing what they do and how they help out these people.
Yeah, it's like having a free employee.
Yeah. But what it does for the inmates,
yes,
it is amazing what it can do for them.
And they very much look forward to. So that was another thing that was devastating during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Volunteers couldn't come in, so I'm sure it was hard for you at Morgan County Jail. It was hard for us. It gives something the incarcerated people look forward to seeing those people. They look forward to the visits, to a familiar, friendly face, somebody that's helping them to improve themselves.
Yeah. And somebody that know both of you personally, a lot of times we kind of gauge things by children, right? And we remember when kids are small, but for both of you, Conrad, about to graduate college.
Did graduate.
He did.
He's a high school teacher at Lafayette Jeff.
See, I'm even a year behind them. So. Wow. And Danica, where's she?
Yeah. Danica, my daughter, is 16, and she's playing sophomore basketball. And
is she driving?
Driving, yes, driving, and got a 4-H calves. As a matter of fact, we're going to a show here shortly in Indianapolis, a cattle show, the Beef Congress, which is a big deal up here. So she's living life 110 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Does Danica have your sense of humor?
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
She does. Yeah.
That's,
yeah, she's a smart aleck.
You're getting payback in spades, aren't you?
Yeah, it all comes full circle.
And your kids?
Yeah,
they're racing.
They're racing, and
so you
doing
have too much money too, then?
No, yeah, too much money going out. Yeah. So no, my boys both race quarter midgets, and we have a good time doing that, and travel around and meet a lot of good people doing that. So,
because they're how old now?
10 and 8.
10 and 8.
Yeah.
So quarter midgets, is that something sponsorship wise you can come and look at, or is that later on through life? We're looking
a little later on. There's some small things that we work with, some local businesses and things like that. But yeah, right now it's a lot more going out than coming in. That's
is that
for sure.
mostly Indiana, or do you go outside?
My boys mostly race in Indiana, but there are circuits across the country, and we do travel outside the state. We've been as far south as Alabama to race, and Ohio. So yeah, we go all around. It's a lot of fun.
It's the next Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
I know you can't ask for sponsors, so I'll do it for you. John's looking for sponsors.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it can be the Wheaties special, whatever you need, buddy.
Yeah.
Put her on there.
Yeah. So Rich, you running for sheriff? You really have you had a good relationship up there for your whole career, or down there. What's the biggest surprise, though, you think, that you didn't expect once you switched over and became sheriff?
And I tell people this all the time. It's amazing what the ISP can do to give you the integrity, the professionalism that you need to step into this new job. But I never realized, being an ISP employee like we all are.
Right.
We arrest the people, we drop them off the jail. Hasta la vista, baby.
You don't think about it.
You're gone. Yeah. And the 250 guests that we have a day that we take care of, 364 days a year, 365 days a year, and 24/7, and the meals that go out, and the medical side of it, and the even haircuts and dental, and you know all this. You know what I'm talking about, and it's just amazing what you work with every day. And then the other side of it, then you got the enforcement side of it, where you've got the employees that you deal with, just like we do, or this as a supervisor that you're dealing with too. So I think it was that, putting that together. I hadn't had that jail side of it, but having a jail commander like I have just makes the job so much easier.
And the thing that I think a lot of people don't think about, and echoing what you said, we would arrest somebody and drop them off, wash your hands, you're done. And what people don't realize, and I remind people when I talk to people about the Department of Correction, is 95% of the people that are in prison, they are getting out. They're coming back to your neighborhood, your town, your community. So we owe it to ourselves and to them to help them be successful, to encourage them to find a better way to spend their time, give them the skills to do that, and keep the recidivism rate. Recidivism, hovers around 50-60% across the nation. Here in Indiana, we're around 38%. Would love to have it even lower, but it's a partnership. The person has to want to do better, and then we have to be able to provide them those skills and opportunities to be better.
As I said, ISP is a great training for this, because I think we had 5 new sheriffs this past election from ISP that came on and are going to be sheriffs here, and we're having the new sheriffs.
What advice would you have for them?
I got advice from a very good friend of mine, and a very good mentor, and a very good boss, Doug Carter. You've probably heard of him.
Yeah.
And he said, take it slow. And that's the great advice, the best advice. Take it slow. Go in, learn the job, know the people. Don't come in changing a bunch of stuff and trying to make it your way. Learn the job, know the people, and delegate. That's a big thing too. You got to trust your understudies and your people that work with you and are with you. And that was some great advice from him.
Very cool. We've got about a minute left, and it's been really fun. I think we could do a bunch of shows just sitting around talking. I think people would be.
The best part about this is I didn't know that we got paid now. That's
Well, hey, the check is in the mail. Should have it sometime before Christmas. And,
I'll be looking for it.
Yeah. Christmas what year?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, no, I really, really appreciate this opportunity. I looked up to both of you. Still look up to both of you. Reach out to you often for advice, and great mentors for me. following in your footsteps and trying to fill the shoes that you guys left. And certainly not an easy task, but really appreciate this opportunity.
You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job, John.
Always enjoy seeing you.
These two behind the cameras, too.
Unbelievable.
Ron.
We've got a good group of people and good folks that came before us. So,
is it Tom or Ron?
Well, who are you talking about? There's Tom there. There's Ron there.
Yeah, they're
both
here.
off camera.
They're here. So, no, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you to Tom for getting us on YouTube. Check out the Indiana State Police YouTube channel. Sheriff, Captain, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
God bless.